So I thought we'd make a video real quick, since we're, in the middle of sowing seeds and, planting flowers, and you know how those moon phases go. We're coming up on the flower moon, and, just wanting to plant good seeds, and, make way for our manifestations, throughout the year until next year. So, even though with that post that I was saying yesterday about sitting and watching, and that's why I do a lot of observing. You know, I when you meet someone, um, and you get to know them, and you observe different things that you like about them. That's me. I don't just jump into anything. I have to have some kind of something about you that I have to be attracted to, intelligence-wise. It's a part of my emotional intelligence, and that's what I look for. That's important to me, especially like with my kids and everything. I, a lot of things I think about and I act on, it revolved around them. Through my first phase of parenting, my throat chakra has been talking like off and on throughout the day. It's crazy how that happens when I'm about to start posting. It's also why I stopped showing my face also, because the spells were starting to wear off, and then like when I start to post again, that's when they start showing up again, because people like to do spell work to my pages. But anyway, like with my kids and everything, I was always, worrying about who they were around and what kind of people they were, because I could intuitively pick up things, but I was always told that I was crazy and things like that. So, when I would bring it to people's attention, things that I was picking up, and I thought it was just me and my traumas and whatnot, but, I worked a lot, so I couldn't always, worry about I couldn't always, not have my kids around people until I was around and whatnot, and I had to try to trust some kind of way. And that's how I go emotionally also, when it comes to relationships and whatnot. At the beginning, like, yeah, we had that, emotional attraction and whatnot, but there's still things that I look for. There's still things that I sit back and I watch because of me being in this celibacy for so long, and only, uh, being with my kid's dad, uh, you know, uh, and mad that I would throw it away just for that. I started to, slowly, at the beginning I wouldn't even accept any DMs or anything. I wouldn't even, sometimes here and there, like, not on a dating or anything that kind of way, but in a kind of way of like, like, I wonder if this really is the real celebrity or whatever. And, hey, whatever, I like your work, blah, blah, blah. And that would be it. And then I wouldn't say anything else. And they would, like, maybe even go back in there, and send another message, but I wouldn't even respond back. But then I had to, like, tell myself to, like, just do it. And that was one of the main reasons why I went to my shaman, because I was like, should I interact, or I don't know if I should interact, or should I? Because I was intuitively being told to just go ahead and just do it. And, so I did, and it was just like baby steps with everything, where I wouldn't open up like that, and then open up, and then not open up like that. But there are certain boundaries that I just would not go for. Like 3D sharing and things like that. But, this last one, I, started, but I don't know, it was the arrogance about each one of those soulmates. There was the arrogance about them. But I sat and watched and observed, like, different things being thrown in my face and whatnot. And I kept thinking to myself, like, we haven't even made it to the next tier yet, like to where, um, you know, everything that I'm looking for, I'm not exactly grasping yet. Emotional intelligence. And then I started noticing like the people that they were around. That was the main thing. That was my main problem because of, you know, people can say all they want about intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence, you may be able to regrow, just like these rituals and stuff. Now I see why they chop their hair off, and everything. You might be able to regrow, but can you regenerate? I mean, regenerate God's way and walk in God's, way of growing. And I always thought about that, like, with the rituals and everything, like chopping my hair off. Would I just chop my hair off, with the spell work and everything being sent? Or, why would I do that when God has different things here on earth to be able to heal it? Everything is for a reason. I used to chop my hair off in high school and stuff. I'd be like, yeah, just chop it off and just do it all over again. I used to do that, and then, after a while, I was like, why would I chop my hair off? I might clip my ends or something like that, but you don't even have to do that if you, come up with if you see different things that they have to be able to regrow and heal things. So, that's what I started thinking more about the healing part of things and, what kind of people, like, my bottom line is, like, would I even be able to trust you or trust the people that you're around? And, I told my soulmate that, at the beginning, and, I have a big thing about being able to trust the people that you're around, and that's mainly because of what I've been through. So that was a huge, huge thing for me, is trust. And for you to be around trustworthy people, then that means it wouldn't take so many muscles and energy into showing you how to emotionally be available. I think at the end of the day, if you want some kind of trust or something to come out of anything that you want to heal, that you would have to go to God for that. You have to go to God for that. You have to go to God if you want any kind of healing. So, and that's one thing. You will have to put in hard work with the Most High. So you'll know without a doubt whether somebody really wanted to put in that work or not. Whether it's really trustworthy or not. By that time, it's like, how far gone are they? Especially if they're doing spell work. If they're doing spell work, the entities that you would have attached to you and whatnot, like possessions. You have to go to God to, like, get that help that you need, and it would take, if it's really worth something to you, then it would be really worth the while in doing the work. But I just think about all these different third parties that have been throwing things in my face as if, it's like a boundary that I put up first off, because it's different things that you have to show me before I even open up any kind of, open up to you completely, trustworthy, wise, So even like with every decision, I haven't, one decision that I've made and I've always looked at what it was that I needed, or what would benefit me by being in each decision, which includes moving from place to place. It was never me trusting another person, because it was always trusting the Most High and looking at what it is that might benefit me by me being in certain places like North Carolina, where UNC, I had to get back to my doctors and stuff, and here there were certain entities that were here that and also in North Carolina, each place that I had moved to. And Wilmington, I said, if I'm going to be homeless, I might as well be homeless and, enjoy the beach if I was going to do that. So it was different, various reasons why I had moved. I said, I guess I'll just go to the beach until I figure it out. Or maybe Wilmington might be the spot. But the thing is as far as relationship-wise, you would have to understand what it is to love yourself before loving others. And that's the whole meaning of everything. I know what good I wanted for my kids. I know what I wanted. Sadly, I was too young with my oldest, but I still was working. I was still trying to take care of him, and I still was independent, period. Whether I had to help or not, it didn't even matter. I was still independent. And I still made sure I went through nursing school and everything.